Hey, howdy, hi there. Nightlink back with another episode of the Stanley Parable. So today, I think we're gonna do, dang it, I think we're gonna do the museum ending and the insane ending. Pretty easy to get to. I think, yeah, and they're both really fun actually to think about. Hopefully, the game audio is perfect this time compared to my mic audio. I don't know.
This is the story of a man named...
Skip. Already know this. Alright, let's go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, I remember what it was now. So,
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
and here we go.
Coming to a
Down.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We gotta go down for the insane ending. This one gets a
But
little
Stanley
creepy.
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying
Oh,
and began to gently float above the ground.
Wee!
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was
Very
so
beautiful.
much fun, and Stanley marveled that he
Wow.
had still not woken up.
That's
How was he remaining so
actually kinda cool.
lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange.
This is weird.
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course,
coffee
this
nut.
was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
That's weird.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After
Oh.
all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control. that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
Oh,
the fresh air of a world outside this
nice
one.
and comfy.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
I like how he's just like, and everything went black after all that screaming.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Ooh.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
All right. That was the insane ending. Let me take 1 second. All right, 8 minutes. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now I think we're heading for the museum ending, did I say? I guess so. If these episodes are 20 minutes long, I'll have to, because it does have a lot of stuff in it. Here we go, on our way.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Yeah. Just laugh and laugh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
4, 5.
Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Ooh, this is nice. It's really New Age. Very calming. I think it's music. Yeah.
Feeling soothed and
Right.
rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward
Oh.
into the opened passageway.
Ooh. All right. Here we go. Going pretty well so far. That was some nice music, I must say.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Oh.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Yeah.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Alright, here we go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Here we go. So we're gonna try to escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
What? No.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I don't feel like it,
At
narrator.
this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. Ooh, that's very ominous. Most ominous thing I've ever seen.
As the
place.
machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to
Oh
his
no.
demise, it
We're going
reflected
to be
that his life had been
compressed.
of no consequence whatsoever.
Ah.
Nature. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
What?
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Okay, that's just weird. Oh no. Oh god. Ah. What?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Whoa. Alright then. So.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
So this place is really cool. This is an entire museum about the Stanley Parable. As you already heard, there's some sort of other narrator who even narrates the regular narrator. Stanley's computer. Alright. Let's see, corridor. Whole bunch of stuff. Filing cabinets. Office computers. Hey. There's the credits. I mean, really thank you to all these people. Every single one of them there. They're awesome. This game is awesome. The idea of this game is amazing. Maintenance room. Oh, there's the copier. The office. Warzone, oh yeah. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. Oops. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that this was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people might interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Very interesting stuff. Alien base. Awesome. Ooh. Oh yeah, people send out emails. Let's see, read that. Dink dunk. Subject gay. Are you gay? What even? Oh yeah, it's a phone and a pencil sharpener. It's nice. The office. Oh, the lounge. Sorry, an early version of the lounge. Yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it? Let's see, we got the apartment timer. Oh, that's from another ending. Oh, cargo lift. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Where cargo is actually stored. Hmm. This is gonna be an ending. The Zending. Let's see what it was. It's the screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Hmm. Well, what on earth could Zending mean? I mean, I know what it means, but still, that's... When it ended, when the player restarted it from the escape menu. Oh. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Sending levers. What's... Oh, yeah. Here's a trailer. The first one released in May 2012. What's... There it is. Oh, oops. Very creepy. Like a serial killer movie or something. Yeah, not much action going on around here. If you actually stayed with me this entire time, I don't know how you have. You know, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and try and find the exit because this is easy enough to come to. Wait, what's over here? Hide over there. Hmm. Here. What's this? Employee lounge. Underground. An early version of the underground portion of the game. Oh. Oh. Wow. I mean, there's a lot here. Let's try and find the exit now, I guess. Oh, wow. All the way back here to the beginning. That's insane. Here we are, I think. Yeah, it was by the elevator. Here's exit.
look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
I think so.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As
No.
long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
No.
Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
Nah.
Do choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Nah. And that was the museum ending. Nothing else happens, don't worry about it. So, that was what was that? The insane ending and the museum ending? Yeah. Well, we'll pick this up in the next episode of the Stanley Parable. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like the video if you liked it and want to watch it again later. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you then.